Okay guys, we're back. What I've been talking to you guys about ever since I started this channel is the simple fact that the CPUs and the GPUs that have been produced prior within the last 3 years, especially 2013, are way more powerful than they used to be. So what I did was last week I ordered Haswell G3220. It's running at 3 gigahertz. You can't overclock that CPU. It's just what it comes in at. You can downclock it, but you can't overclock it. I took 8 gigabytes out of my system, so it only leaves me with 8 gigabytes. It was clocked at 2400. I've downclocked that to 1333, 99927, command rate 1. So if you guys spend about $65, you can buy you a dual channel kit and get pretty much the same thing. There's my Windows score over there. There's 8 gigabytes RAM in there. Here, let me show you the Windows Experience score. As you can see, this processor is at about 7. And the slowest thing in there is my hard drive, which is 5.9. So this is an entry-level system that I've just put together here. The video card is a HD7750. I'll let you guys see that. And I wanted to do some gameplay of the kind of gaming experience you guys could experience at 1920 by 1080p with this entry-level stuff. This stuff wouldn't be possible years ago, but it's definitely possible now. Let's see here. I'll show you Assassin's Creed 4. We'll start off with that first. I wanted to do some gameplay with so that you guys can see what kind of performance you'd be getting without any video recording software slowing things down. So how you're seeing it is how if you bought these parts and components entry level, we're talking around about 400 to about 425 to about $500-ish to get you started, and that'll include your power supply, your case, this video card, this processor, a DVD burner, and like a $65 hard drive with like a $60 or $50 motherboard also. So the games I'm showing you today are some of the most demanding ones out. So this is the lowest, the most minimum frame per seconds you'll get in games. So the majority, I've tested all my games out today. These are the ones that perform the worst at 1920 by 1080p. So your experience will be very similar. This is also a 46-inch Samsung TV that I'm patching the video through the HDMI cable. So this is a lot like a lot of you guys' setups would be. But this is the kind of gameplay you're gonna get, guys. 1920 by 1080p. I've got full. Oh, that's what I needed to show you. I got full textures. Always run your games with full textures. These are my settings right here. Now I could get probably more frames per second in games, but if I would downgrade the settings more than this, but this is as far as I'm willing to compromise my graphical, because I like eye candy, but I'm perfectly okay. Most of you guys watch movies at 24 frames per second. If a game runs that normally, on average, I don't think that's a fail. Some of you might, you say you need at least 30. but this game is definitely playable at these frames. So I'm not going to do a whole lot of gameplay on a lot of this stuff. I just wanted to show you what is possible with an entry-level system. I know I've been spouting this stuff for a while now. Let's try some Battlefield 4. You know, that you guys can, you absolutely can play. It doesn't take a whole lot of money. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars, or even $1,000. You don't even have to spend $600 or $700. You can game just like the rest of everybody else in the world does on some entry-level stuff, just having a little bit of know-how, putting some stuff together, and you start it right because you're here watching this video. And I do this testing for you, so all the guesswork is done. So there you have it. Now the only thing about this processor though, the G3220, it's essentially a cell run. It's just a Pentium processor. It's the very entry level. I think it's the cheapest one you can get, just on the Haswell platform. But the only thing I don't like about it is the games, because I think it's missing level 3 cache. The games load up very slowly, like not as fast as they should, as I like them to, I should say. But other than that, once you get into them, they tend to play pretty well. Now, here's my settings. Again, 1920 by 1080p. You know my name. This is how I game. I do not game at anything less than this. But look at my settings. These are my settings. You set them up the same way, you get, real close to the same. You get like the same performance. I'm not doing any overclocking on the video card. Nothing like that. Matter of fact, I'm underclocking my RAM to 1333. So, and this is what you guys would have to look forward to. We're over 30 frames per second in a brand new title. So I mean, yeah. I guess I could give you guys some volume.
One second to there, the next to not. Take a breath, son. You got the intel? Yeah, got it. Nice play.
Keep in mind, this is an entry-level processor with an entry-level video card.
20 on Irish. Tell me it's with you. Break the radio silence. Tombstone 3, Tombstone Actual. What's your 20? Tombstone Actual. Inbound from the north. Coming in hot. Closing cover fire. On my retreat.
So what I'd like to say too is the industry, in order to save money, they make batches of CPUs and GPUs, and if they don't perform as well as others, they'll take out or disconnect some of the more better, the better features, and then they'll sell it to you at a cheaper price. But for the basic, if you're wondering why a 2-core processor is performing so well in games with a entry-level graphics card, it's because of that fact. It's the entry-level stuff. It's pretty strong. It's really strong anymore. I mean, and take a look at this stuff. Everything looks nice. It's beautiful. So yeah. All right, let's try a different game. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I could tell you other than the fact that you just simply don't need. Here's proof positive that you just don't need. Now, these games, like I said, these are the games. I picked these games out on purpose because, as you can see, I've got a whole lot of games on my computer, and the majority of those, you know, all the other ones played at 30 frames per second plus average. You know, we're talking all the way up to 83 frames per second. You know, in games. So, and let me show you the settings first, because you guys will probably want to see that in this game. Okay, here's the settings. So you can pause the video, check that out. Let me make sure I show you that it's in 1920 by 1080p. There you go. All right. And now let's just show you. I'll do a benchmark here. And then I'll also show you in-game. But these games are the games that are going to give you the most problems. I say that, you know, they're the most graphical, intense, the most, you know. So if I'm doing this kind of, I'm getting these kind of frames per second in games with entry-level hardware at 1920 by 1080p. The only thing that you can do, guys, from here that would make sense, and this is what I've done, and I might even put up another video showing you this, is just if you just switch out the video card to a better video card, even though you're using this processor, you're going to get way better frames per second in games, and the games are going to look good doing it. This game looks, I mean, this with this setup, everything looks awesome. And all the other games that aren't as graphically intense or, you know, demanding, like I said, I'm getting over 30 frames per second, and I would never notice, you know, if somebody had, you know, if I hadn't done this, I would never notice that I had changed my processor, because I'm getting that good of frame rates in games. Yeah. So let's get this one started up, and I think I'll do one more after this. Try to keep this video short. But the reason I'm showing you guys this is, now I am going to show you a little trick that you can do, because some people would argue and say, hey, you know, this ain't, you know, these ain't good enough frames per second in games. You know, I need more. So here's a little trick that you could do in order to get you more frames, especially if you're on a TV like I am. What you do is you come in here, you take this off of full screen. Let's see. That's a 720p. Let's go. I guess that's it then. Anyway, so what you do is, and then you just take it, and now you still got full frames, and what that is that's about the size of my 27-inch monitor that I have over there on the desk. And I'm getting more frames in games now with full textures, you know, full detail, and I've got the frames per second to boot. And that's a little way you can cheat. Now, not all games you can do this in, but in games that gives you the option to go from full, you know, full screen to, you know, take off your full screen. There you go. Now, isn't that amazing? Full textures, good frames per second. That's a little way to cheat. You know, to get, you know, if you're not, all you gotta do is just sit close to the screen, and there you go. There you have it. Excellent gameplay, and you're not missing any frames per second, really. That's a good way to boost it. Now, let me see. Let's show you Borderlands. Let's show you that one. Now, in this game, I am running at 1920 by 1080p, and I have have physics set up to medium on an entry-level video card and CPU. This is amazing. We're getting over 30 frames per second average. You'll see that. Let's see. Let me get in here. From Frostburn Canyon, which is one of the most demanding parts in this game. One of the most demanding areas. Alright, let's go kill us some baddies. As you can see, there's 37 over there. There's the frames per second, guys. 39. Very playable frame rates. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys the settings. Here's my resolution. Here's my settings. I got my field of view all the way up. And my physics is on medium. You see all this physics? See that? Okay. Let's kill some baddies. Alright, so there's that game. I mean, we're over 30 frames per second, guys, and every game that I've played since then, you know, as you can see here, I have a lot of titles here. Every single game I've played has been over 30 frames per second. Every single one, except for those few titles that I showed you. Even Last Light is, you know, is playing really well. I know I said that last time, but I'll show you this last one. You know, the frames per second are really good in this game too. So yeah. But yeah, I paid $70 for this processor on Newegg. And I bought the card. That was like 90 bucks. So that's also off Newegg. But yeah, let's see here. Let's get back in this game. I'll show you settings once I get in. Okay, gameplay, no physics on this one, and there's everything else. Everything else is set to normal. And I also, almost every single game that I have, not every one, but most of the games that I have, you can play with a wired 360 controller, which is what I'm doing. So, yeah. Let's see if I can get to a point where I can shoot a couple things. You guys might want to see that. Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, that's the kind of gameplay that you can look forward to on some entry level stuff, guys. I mean, I don't know what more I could show you. I've showed you a lot of titles here, a lot of games. So, let's see here. Let me show another one. Now, I promise this will be the last one. I just wanted to make sure I covered like a lot of games so you guys can see what, that you absolutely can play at 920 by 1080p, with 30 frames per second or better. I should say 24 seconds. Or better. I should say 30, because 30 for the majority, all except for a very handful of titles. I'm talking like maybe 4 titles that I have. I'm getting over 30 frames per second in games. So, and that's with full textures. I'm not, I wasn't turning the textures down and stuff. Let me show you the settings in this one. Graphics. There you go. 1920 by 1080p. I had to turn this down to maximum instead of ultra, but because it just lags so much. But here you are. Look at that gameplay there. Let's see if I can find a zombie or 2 to kill. Yeah, this is how you're gonna game, guys. This is it. Alright, so there you guys have it. I'll go ahead and end the video right there. I just wanted to show you guys what was available. I mean, what was possible. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You guys have a good day. And remember, you don't need to spend a lot of money to game like the rest of the